वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. The last class we saw 40th and 41st verses. So Bhagavan Krishna told us that the desire is our enemy. And the desire takes us away from our takes us away from our own self. It takes me away from myself. Desire. It clouds me. And we saw it operates from three hideouts. Through them, they enter into our consciousness, our mind, into us. One is sense organ, Indriyani. Second is Manaha. Third is Buddhi. And we saw last week what is the meaning of the desire trying to enter into us and disturbing us and clouding our wisdom. So Bhagavan Krishna says, the most grossest thing compared to mind and buddhi is sense organs. So it becomes easy for us to control at the grosser level, the sensory level. Once they enter, they cross the sense organ, the gates of sense organ, the desire crosses and enters into the mind. Then it becomes a bit tricky to handle it. It becomes too subtle and it expands its influence, range of influence in the mind. It occupies the whole mind. As though it pervades the whole mind and desire rules. At the sensory level, it is still yet to enter into our sense organ. It is sneaking, trying to gain an entry. We can slowly control it. We saw last time what are the disciplines to stop at the sensory level. So, damaha, sensory level discipline. And desire having entered into the mind becomes tricky. And there the sadhana is what? Sama. Sama is mano nigraha. When we let go the desire, the sense object to desire to enter into us and reach mind level, the war really begins within. And it crosses and attacks buddhi also. Through buddhi, if the desire influences the buddhi, then it leads to wrong judgment in the intellect, saying that the desire is important, desire is essential, desire must be fulfilled. So I give more impetus or power to the desire itself. I get convinced that this is a must. So Bhagavan Krishna says, you control this desire at the indriya level alone. Tasmat tvam indriyanyadau niyamya. So sense organs to be disciplined. They should be under our dictates. How to do it? Last Saturday we saw at the grosser level and subtler level. We saw that. So prajahi yenam, you kill this desire. Sinful desire must be killed. It destroys both jnana and vijnana. Jnana vijnana nashanam. The paroksha jnanam, indirect knowledge, what we gain is jnanam. And vijnana is the wisdom, understanding, clarity. We may have reached certain conviction inside. Even that also is get destroyed sometimes. When convictions also are uprooted because they are still in the buddhi level only. So jnana vijnana nashana. So now, if I am identified and trying to control the desire, sitting at the sensory level, should I fight? Or should I take position in my mind and fight? Or should I sit in the intellect and fight? Or should I rise above all this and look at the desire at these three headquarters, at the three gateways or at the three entry points? Me identifying myself with something higher than all the three sense organ, mind, and the intellect. So I must be above them, so that the desire may attack these lower vehicles. When I refuse myself to get identified with them, the desire may try to influence the intellect, mind, and the sense organ, but me identified with my own self, I'm not affected by the desire. So desires lose all their potential over me. Because I am rooted even something which is beyond buddhi. So Bhagavan Krishna says here in 42nd verse. Indriyani paranyaho indriyebhyah param manaha manasastu para buddhihi yo buddhe paratastu saha. Indriyani paranyaho indriyebhyah param manaha manasastu para buddhihi yo buddhe paratastu saha. Now, they declare what? Indriyani paranyaho. Sense organs are superior. Superior to what? Whom? Sense objects. So sense objects are outside. Sense organs and structural golakas are in the body level. Entry, sockets. Indriya is not the socket. Socket is different. Indriya is the power is within. But these are the socket through which eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, they enter. So, sense objects are outside. Indriyas are superior to sense objects. And the mind is superior to sense organs. This is not, we have to add it. Indriyane paranyaho indriyebhyah param manaha. Mind is superior to the sense organs. Indriyebhyah param manaha manasastu parabuddhi. And what? Intellect. Superior to mind is what? Intellect. Buddhi is superior to mind. And then yo buddhehe parataha to saha. That which is even superior to buddhi is that he, the Atman, shines. Saha means Atman here. You, your consciousness. This is a gradation. So now, important. See, at the sensory level, sadhana is called controlling the desire. At the sensory level is called dhamma, indriya nigraha. Controlling the desire at the mental level is called samaha, mano nigraha. So dhamma, sensory level, sama, mental level, and buddhi level, viveka. Viveka. So damaha, samaha, and viveka. At the sensory level, mental level, and the intellectual level, the desire has to be controlled. This is actually only a temporary aid, first aid like. It is not a permanent solution. As I said last Saturday also, when we were talking about fasting, it's a temporary solution. As Bhagavan Krishna said, if the indriyas are not energized, they may keep quiet, they may lie low for some time. But as soon as they get energy, they again dance and they run into the world around, world outside. It's called palliative medicine, meaning temporary relief is given, not the cure. So they are important. Dhamma sadhana, sama, and viveka are important. Sensory control, dhamma, mind control, samaha, and viveka through buddhi at the buddhi level, trying to look at the desire with viveka, trying to control the desire to discriminative faculty. They are important, but they are not permanent solutions. They keep new desires will come, and every time we have to address dhamma, sama, viveka, dhamma, sama, viveka. The three are attacked and three counter forces we have created. Viveka Shakti at the buddhi level, Samaha at the mental level, and Damaha at... So the constant fight is going on. How long will to do this fight? So last time we saw what is desire? Desire is a sense of incompleteness. So when I am incomplete, I desire. I desire to make myself full. I desire to make myself full. But that is not going to be a permanent solution. Desire, I desire, procure, feel sometime full, again empty, again. This kind of a madness actually. This has been, we have been doing life after life. Desire, hug the worldly objects, suffer. Then again, throw that object, another object you take, suffer. The Bhagavan Krishna said in no, who is the man who is actually absolute Purnatvam, who had gained that Purnatvam. In third chapter only we saw, no, Naiva tasya krute nartho na krute neha kaschana. Nachasya sarva bhuteshu kaschit arthavyapashrayah. 18th Shloka of third chapter we saw. He has transcended. There is nothing, no meaning for him. It was what is done, what is not done. There is nothing, nothing for the bothers for him. This is immaterial for Jnani. And he is not depending upon any other object for his own contentment and completeness or fullness. Kaschit arthavyapashrayah. Sarvabhuteshu. He doesn't depend on anybody and anything to make himself complete. Then when I discover my fullness, the desire collapses. At the sensory level, it cannot inspire me. At the mental level also, it cannot inspire me. At the intellectual level also cannot inspire me. Why? Because the desire itself is to see completeness. And I myself discovered in myself that I am full and blissful. Then all desire structure falls. The desires collapse. The entire structure that we have built and trying to maintain the structure with all our great pain and trying to concentrate and suffering, the structure that we are maintaining, all that collapses. No need. That is Siddha Prajna Lakshana. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanyeva atmanatushtaha Siddha Prajnas tadochyate. When all desires in the mind are given up, then where is he happy? Atmana eva tushtaha. Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. He is happy within himself. Complete. Then his prajna, the consciousness, wisdom becomes steady. Is not shaken. Therefore, in 42nd and 43rd verses, Bhagavan is talking about that what? Atma Jnanam. That real Jnanam if you gain, the self-knowledge you gain. That is the ultimate solution for all problems called desires. For all types of kama and krodha, what is the solution? Bhagavan Krishna says, discover that which is beyond buddhi. So Atma Jnana. What is Atma? Atma is that which is beyond the sense objects, sense organs, beyond the mind, beyond the intellect. That is you. In fact, this shloka comes actually from Kathopanishad. Indriyebhya parahyarthaha arthebhyascha param manaha manasastu para buddhihi buddheratma mahan paraha mahatah param avyaktam avyaktad purusha paraha purushanna param kinchit sa kashtha sa paragatihi. In Kathopanishad mantras. So Purusha, that Purusha is your own self. Na kinchit, beyond that Purusha there is nothing. Mahataha, Mahata, cosmic intelligence. And we go beyond that is Ishvara, Purushaha, Suddha Chaitanyam. So these mantras of Kathopanishad are condensed by Krishna in one shloka. So it's a sadhana. What is sadhana? That I must slowly and steadily see what are we doing, all of us? All of us are seated at sensory level. Mostly we are identified with sense organs. How come? Because I am easily tempted. At the first perception itself, temptation comes, desire is created. जैसे कि कोई चीज को देखते ही मैंने पसंद किया, मैं चाहता हूं उसको, तुरंत जैसा देखना हुआ, जैसा सुनना हुआ, स्पर्श किया, नाक से इसका ग्रहण किया, तो तुरंत ही वो इच्छा के रूप में परिणित होकर बदल रहा है, तुरंत। माने हम वे एक्चुअली कहां पर बैठे हैं हमेशा के लिए, यानी तो लगभग ज्यादा से ज्यादा समय व्यवहार में इंद्रिया, sense organs, we are actually seated in sense organs. और कुछ लोगों को, some people in some case what happens, they have to enter, this desire has to enter the mind and disturb the mind, then only the desire gains the root. And in some cases it has to attack the buddhi and make you convinced that this is important, and makes you feel intelligent that, oh, you discovered a truth, they discovered something, that desire is important, this desire is essential to procure, to fulfill. Then only desire can be fulfilled. So, but actually we are attacked at what level? Sensory level easily. So as I become subtler and subtler, so I am traveling from sense organs to mind to buddhi. So at some time what happens? Unless I am fully convinced by the desire, I will not. So therefore, lot of desires are dropped off, because when I started using my discriminative faculty, it becomes difficult for desire to convince me. All desires cannot convince me. I am gaining knowledge, paroksha jnanam. So it becomes a little tougher for the desire to convince me at the intellectual level. Though I am convinced by many desires still at the intellectual level. But it is not that. But then I am disturbed at intellectual level. When buddhi disturbed, it disturbs the mind. Mind again disturbs the indriyas, and indriyas go out to procure that object. So slowly I must discover that the real me, the I is seated not in the sensory level, not in the mind, not even in the buddhi. I am something, somebody beyond buddhi. Paraha. Yo buddhehe paratastu paraha. Means superior. Superior to buddhi. Superior to sense objects are sense organs. Superior to sense organs are the mind. Superior to mind is the buddhi, intellect. Superior to intellect is your own atma. So Paraha, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, in Kathopanishad commentary, Paraha means what? He gives three meanings. Three meanings. Paraha, the word Paraha. Sukshmaha, Mahantaha, Pratyagatmaha. Three words he uses. Paraha means what? Sukshma, Mahantaha, and Pratyagatma. Three words. Para means what? Three words. One is subtle. So, mind is subtler than the sense organs. Buddhi is subtler than the mind. Atma is subtler than the buddhi. Para means what? Above, subtler. Means what? Mahanta means pervading, more pervading. It occupies more space. Like when I say, Paraha means superior. So, water is superior to ice. Steam is superior to water. Why? Water is subtler than the ice and the steam is still subtler than the water. Right? Ice is gross. Water is subtle. Steam is still subtler. Now come to that. Mahantaha. Water is same block ice. You melt it, it occupies more space. Quantity ice is same one block, melted. It is converted into water. It occupies more space. Mahanta. And the same water, you boil it and make it steam. It occupies still more space. So the grosser body dimension, grosser. Mind is still pervasive. Buddhi is still pervasive. Subtler and more pervasive. So one is subtler, second is more pervasive, and third is more pervasive it is, more closer to you. It is inside. More pervasive it is closer to me. Who am I? For example, which is closer to steam, water, or ice? Water. Why? Water is more pervasive than the ice. Therefore, from the standpoint of steam, water is closer to steam and ice is far away from steam. Okay. Then your subtler is closer to. So who am I? I am the subtlest. Atman is subtlest. What do you mean by subtlest? All pervading. So all pervading means what? Yourself. Pratyagatma. So closer to you. Who is closer to you? More pervading, more closer to you. And you are all pervading. So next lower pervading is closer to you. So grossest thing is away from you. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya give these three meanings for the word paraha. Yo buddhehe paratastu saha. So indriyani paranyaho, indriyebhya param manaha, manasastu para buddhihi. So all that. Yo buddhehe paratastu saha, parataha tu saha. Indeed, that which is beyond buddhi is saha, the Atman, that is you. So what I should do now? If I am seated in sense organ level identified, very quickly I am influenced by desire, because our sense objects are closer to sense organs. So every passing sense object noticed by, perceived by sense organ, in then and there it is converted into desire, a strong desire. That's how many crimes are happening in society. Not all crimes are premeditated. Many are instantly committed crimes. It has not even gone to the mind, perhaps, or intellect, nothing. Just perceived, desired, and acted. So when I'm seated at the mind level, I still am influenced by desire. The moment sense organ walls are crossed by desire, I'm influenced. If I see the buddhi, but desire tries to use logic and convinces me, and I fall prey to it. But if I'm seated beyond buddhi, desire cannot attack, because these three only are attacked by desire. Desire cannot reach me, the self. Alma Atman is subtlest. Nothing can reach me. I'm untouched. I'm beyond the thought, because desire expresses in the mind as what? Thought. So thoughts also cannot touch me, like clouds cannot touch the space. Just as clouds cannot touch the space, they may exist in space, but space is nirlipta, untainted, untouched. So the moment I position myself as Atma through meditation, I shift my consciousness from these lower things to the higher level, highest rather. Highest means all pervading, subtlest, and that is me alone. Think. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna says, identify yourself, that which is, that with yourself means what are you? Be seated as Atman, beyond the body, mind, beyond the sense organs, mind, and the buddhi, intellect. I think we have given enough thought. And then still, if the desire is, vasanas are powerful, even though with the gained the knowledge, still we are in theoretical knowledge. We are trying to establish ourselves in that awareness. But till we completely establish ourselves in that Atman, I may be subjected to any kind of desire at any time. Because still I am working through sense organs, mind, and the buddhi. I am still identified with them. So I am influenced by them. Beautiful thing to understand. Okay. So, therefore, what Bhagavan Krishna says, evam buddhe param buddhva संस्तभ्यात्मानमात्मना जहि शत्रुं महाबाहो कामरूपं दुरासदम् एवं बुद्धेः परं बुद्ध्वा संस्तभ्यात्मानमात्मनम् जहि शत्रुं महाबाहो कामरूपं दुरासदम्. Thus, what should we do? Knowing him, that knowing the self, buddhehe param buddhva, having known, having realized that which is beyond the intellect. Once we sit there, completely the desire can influence these three, indriyas, mind and intellect. But I am beyond there, I am established. Desire cannot touch me. Desire cannot influence me. Then desire collapses. Desire is not getting any attention. Desire can knock the doors of the sense organs or the mind or the intellect, but me, the self, I am beyond, uninfluenced, I don't care it, the desire just collapses. So what? Knowing the Atman, which is beyond the intellect, samstabhya atmanam atmana atmanam samstabhya. So restraining yourself by your own self. Self means mind. So restraining the mind by your own mind, by your own higher mind, by your own wisdom, by yourself, restraining the mind, teaching the mind. So, Jahi Shatrum, you kill this desire which is in the form enemy, in the form of desire. E Mahabaho Kamarupam Shatrum Jahi. Conquer this desire which is this enemy which is in the form of a desire. Kamarupam Shatrum Jahi. And what which is like that? Nature of the desire, Durasadam. Very hard to conquer. Very difficult to conquer. So here in third chapter, people ask how to control the desires. How to manage the desire, how to control the desire, how to transcend the desire. Managing the desire means either you postpone the desire or replace the desire with some other desire. That's how you manage the desire. Certain desires, I replace. So I compromise, I replace, or I postpone. That's how I try to manage the desire. I am neither postponing the desire nor replacing the desire, some other desire. I'm trying to control through wisdom, not suppressing. The intensity of the desire is reduced by wisdom, by understanding, by discrimination. But there's a struggle, isn't it? So with respect to one desire, I applied one discrimination. Some other desire, again discrimination to be applied. Another desire, again discrimination. So these are all only temporary medicines. And we get tired. Like marshmallows, the children, example, they have this beautiful, soft, white, the pieces, the cube of marshmallows. The children were kept in a room. I told, I think, this example. They were so tempted, constantly seeing that in a single room under the cameras, they're observed, they're being observed. Different actions are done by different children. Somebody touches, somebody licks with the finger, somebody smells it, again puts it. They were told not to eat for 2 minutes. Then they will get the bowl of marshmallow something. Many could not resist, they just, because it is available to me directly. How can I control? So this is like applying the wisdom when it is available in front of me. I can't enjoy, I can't involve in the enjoyment. Very difficult. Why? I must constantly use the discriminant. In fact, that is also a struggle. There is also Dvaita. It's a good, it's a method. I cannot say that, this is a useless method. No, it's very important. Why? Right now, we are not in the position of completely abandoning the desire, having established in our own self. So the available methods and means are what? Only these things. So managing the desire is either postponing or replacing it. Controlling the desire by using the discrimination, understanding, trying to reduce the intensity of the desire, or trying to suspend the desire, or trying to abandon the desire. You may abandon. You did not fulfill all desires. If the intellect is strong, the intellect may drop a particular desire. But the question is, another desire crops up. So applying this discriminative faculty also is a very great art, but consistently has to be applied. I may give up smaller desires. I may be tempted by something else, higher desire. Higher means something else. Like Gurudev gives example. Parents may not be tempted by the dolls in the exhibition, toys in the exhibition. Child is tempted. The parents are about toys. But the next showroom is what? Pant and shirt shootings, and there this guy was tempted, father was tempted. And next is sari, she was tempted. So they may have crossed the one kind of desire toy, but they are caught up in their own desire at their level. So Bhagavan Krishna says, you can conquer the enemy completely. Jai Shatrum Mahabaho, Kamarupam Shatrum, Durasadam Kamarupam Shatrum, a Mahabaho Jehi. Conquer, kill, conquer. How? By yourself establishing yourself as somebody, pure consciousness, ever full, all pervading, independent, meaning not depending on anything else. That consciousness which is no boundaries, beyond the body, it always exists, whether within the body or no body or body, consciousness is always there. That is me. So I am boundless, blissful Atman. So Mano, Buddhi, Hankar, Chitta, Ninaham, all that Bhagavan Shankaracharya says in Nirvana Shatakam. So how can I conquer the desire? Establishing myself as all-pervading consciousness, Atman. Think about it. So our attempt is to establish in our own consciousness. So that attempt should be continued. साथ साथ क्या करते रहना है? We should also be careful of indriyas, the mind, where desire is attacking at indriya level or mind level or intellectual level, which is taking me away from self. And what kind of desires are to be entertained? Dharmic desires are called dharma oriented, So they don't bind. Because when there is the phalapeksha, karmanevadikaraste, which karma? Bound and duties. Without hankering the fruits thereof, which we have to do it. And there we are not bound. On the contrary, our antakarna becomes purer and purer, will be released. But what kind of desires are disturbing me? All kinds of desires, unwanted desires, which are not actually falling on the purview of my duty. Thus, by Bhagavan Krishna's grace and Puja Gurudev's grace, we have completed third chapter of Bhagavad Gita also. So it started with what? A question based on second chapter. Hey Krishna, if you say Jnanam, Sankhya is superior to karma, then why are you asking me to engage in this ghora karma, terrible karma? Why are you not allowing me to enter into sannyasa ashram, jnana? There Bhagavan Krishna answered. The entire third chapter. So first sloka we will read and then conclude. Arjuna vacha jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava. That is the question asked by Arjuna. In fact, one more sloka also, second sloka also question on. Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasi iva me tadekam vada nischitya ena sreya aham apnuya. So tell me only one thing by which I can get my shreya, that which is good for me. Don't confuse me. So Bhagavan told Dve nishtha is there, jnana and karma. Jnana yogena sankhyanam, karma yogena yoginam. Out of which you are fit for karma only. So your adhikaritva eligibility is only in karma. Jnana you can learn, practice, gain knowledge. But predominant zone is karma. So what is karma? How should I do? With what attitude? All that we saw in third chapter. So thank you very much. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Karma Yogo Nama Trutiyodhyayah Sarva Dharman Parichajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Ahantva Sarva Papebhyah Mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Harihi Om. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. Thank you all. Hari Om.